Boachi Entry. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Omar.
Good evening. Were you at Joe Wise's press conference this afternoon?
Yes, I was present.
You knew what he was going to talk about?
I was present at a press conference.
Great. Do you agree with him or disagree with him?
If I didn't agree with him, why would I be standing in the press conference? It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing with them. It's a matter of law. And Joe Wise is a seasoned lawyer, president speaker, a seasoned member of the party, as well as seasoned MP. So we elected him to speak on our behalf to the matters, to the raging matters and govern the party.
When you say we elected him, who and who are the we? The whole majority caucus or a number of MPs?
Umaru, please, we call you for an interview. Let's deal with the matters and stop these.
That's the matter we are dealing with. So I want to know who Joe Wise represented.
You saw all of us in the clip. Some of our friends could not make it there. But the ones you saw, we elected him to speak.
But you see, the reason I'm asking you is because I just got off the line with your colleague MP for Anya Soweto. He said he was walking past. He saw that his leader was addressing the president, as happens usually in Parliament, both in the well and in the foyer. He decides to come and support his leader, only to realize later what the leader was talking about.
Yeah, well, that's the Anya Soweto MP. I'm the member of Parliament for Subin, so I was there. So you can speak to me about what happened.
Good. So that's why I asked that question. I needed to know, numbers are very important. So if it's an issue of an agenda, numbers are very, very important. So about how many people was Joe Wise speaking for today?
When you say an issue of an agenda, numbers are important. This has nothing to do with numbers. This is to do with the law. When one person out of the 138 says no to something, it doesn't matter whatever the 137 say. Whatever the 137 say might not be, in consonance with the law or in conformity with the law.
Okay, so please talk to me about the law and the procedure that you use in the House.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
What is the issue at stake? The issue at stake was that a meeting took place yesterday. I've been out of the country since the 6th of February, attending a UN session in New York, and then I had to spend a couple of days in London to attend to personal matters, right? All along, I heard these raging matters about proposed change in leadership, which was, which I've been told today, it was part of the agenda. I could not attend, though, as a chairman of the Employment Committee, I'm a member of the STEC and member of NEC and the National Council, but I couldn't attend. When I got back home last night, I spoke to colleagues who were present, and they told me that particular item 5 on the agenda, was jettisoned. It was dropped and nothing was said about it. Subsequent to that, the General Secretary issued a communique after the meeting talking about the structure of the campaign team and what have you. That is what came out. Now, what the concern was, you are a journalist, so you saw flyers floating about yesterday in connection with change of leadership or some changes in the leadership of the party. Let me, first of all, for the benefit of this interview and for the education of the members or Ghanaians who may not have vetted themselves with the Constitution, prior to the operationalization of this standing orders, from January, right? The MPP Constitution, Article 40 of the Constitution, I don't know whether you have time for me to read to your listeners or...
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Article 14, the title is the Parliamentary Group. 14.1 says the party's members of Parliament shall form the Parliamentary Group, which shall have rules and regulations, not inconsistent with its Constitution to govern its activities. 14.2, the election of the leader, the deputy leader, the chief whip, and the deputy chief whip of the Parliamentary Group shall be done by the National Council. 3, the National Executive Committee shall, in consultation with the Parliamentary Group, appoint the party's parliamentary spokesperson, who shall be the chairperson of the party's sector committee when the party is not in government. 4, the National Council and the National Executive Committee shall, respectively, review each year the performance of the parliamentary leadership and spokespersons with a view to making appropriate changes where necessary. The last one, 14.5, says the parliamentary leader, together with one other rep of the parliamentary group, shall be members of the National Executive Committee, and one rep of the parliamentary group shall be a member of the National Steering Committee. The parliamentary leader shall be a member of the National Steering Committee of the National Executive Committee, and the parliamentary spokespersons shall be members of their respective sector committee. That is the MPP constitution. It must be made clear. The MPP constitution is not binding on the Parliament of Ghana. Do you understand? Okay. When you go to we use two books in Parliament. The difference is in the weight and the size. One is the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and two is the standing orders, which regulate the activities of the House. You understand? When you go to Article 110 of the National Constitution, I'll read for the benefit of your listeners and viewers. Article 110.1 says, subject to the provisions, the word subject to the provision of this Constitution, Parliament may, by standing orders, regulate its own procedure. Right? So Parliament then, because we use Parliament, we use the standing orders to regulate our activities in the House or procedures. The new standing order, and I'll also go to the new standing order and also tell you what it says. It says majority caucus means the members of the party, all parties that have the largest number of seats in the House. The next point is majority leader means a member of Parliament designated, that's the operative word, designated by the majority caucus as the leader in the House. These are the two definitions you need on the standing order. So who forms the majority caucus? It's 137 plus 137 MPs, right? They form the majority caucus, right? Plus the one independent candidate, right? So we designate who becomes the leader of the party, not the MPP national headquarters or the MPP NEC or national council. These are two. They were the ones doing it, but the new standing orders have taken that powers away from them. Right? They give it to the members of the House. And I think rightly so, because we are colleagues, we know each other better than the people sitting at party HQ or elsewhere in determining their behavior, their conduct, and what have you. You see, as leaders. So that is why in the framers of the standing orders, they thought it wise that what happened to our colleagues last year when Honorable Haruna Idris, Honorable Muntaka, Honorable Kwame Abeji, Abeji, and Honorable they were dropped last year. They were dropped from the front bench. Now you cannot do so. Now the members must initiate or engineer such a move. That is what he's saying. So what Joe Wise did was firstly because there was a whole lot of publications, flying about saying that the change in leadership and all of you. It doesn't do well for cohesion and stability of the leadership in Parliament.
Okay, I think
especially looking at the numbers now. So what Honorable Joe Wise did today by speaking to the law or speaking to the enactment of Parliament, you don't have to. He's not challenging any authority. He's just speaking to the law as it is, and the law says that we, the members of Parliament, so if a member of Parliament is elected to go and legislate and pass laws, why do you then say, we should allow the journalists in this country to go and pass laws? Is that your role? That's not your role. So the party headquarters, that's not the role of the party headquarters.
Okay.
To determine for us who forms the leadership. It should be the MPs doing it. And that is what the work with Umaro.
All right. So you have clearly delineated the issues and you've relied on the documents that matter. So the MPP Constitution, the National Constitution, and the Standing Orders. Based on the 1992 Constitution and the Standing Orders, is you majority group who should decide who leads you. That's correct and properly explained, like you've just said, based on the revised Standing Orders. However, based on your Constitution, it has to be the party that decides who leads it, right? That's two separate issues, correct? Now, if the party sponsored you to Parliament, and when I say you, I mean all 137 you lot of MPP side, at what point do you disregard your Constitution and regard your Standing Orders? And at what point do you
As a journalist, you've done extremely well by putting this question out, because that is what is creating a whole lot of confusion in the system, right? The party in Parliament is not independent of the mother party. I'm an MP speaking to you today because I'm a member of the New Patriotic Party before becoming a member of Parliament. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, is a member of the New Patriotic Party before becoming president. The vehicle that made me president is the New Patriotic Party. The vehicle that made me a member of Parliament is the New Patriotic Party. So we cannot isolate ourselves from the party. No, we are not independent of the mother party. However, the nature of what we do, and the parent law of this country is the national constitution. So anything that is inconsistent with the national constitution is null and void. So where there's a conflict between any part of the party constitution, listen to me carefully, Umaru. Where there's a conflict between any part of our constitution, the NPP constitution, and the national constitution, or an act of parliament, or the standing orders of parliament, or the constitutional or legislative instrument, that part of the constitution, to the extent of the conflict, is null and void.
I've noticed you've added standing orders to your reading of the clause. When we talk about inconsistencies with the law, the 1992 Constitution, we do know that whichever law is in conflict with the 1992 Constitution, to the extent of that conflict, is null and void. Are you suggesting, and I'm not sure whether the standing orders of Parliament has the same weight as the Constitution, so that you can read it in the manner you just read it, where you said that because your party constitution conflicts with the standing orders, it is equated to being null and void?
Yes,
would that work?
When it comes to, listen, I've quoted the relevant, look, we have a national constitution. Any act of parliament must derive its power or strength from the national constitution. So if you look at the standard orders, every order will tell you that this order is this order is that. You understand? Yes. So it tells you, like, when it comes to the election of the voting of the speaker, where your wife have voted or not, blah, blah, blah. Refer to the national constitution. And then what we back to speak for interpretation. So, the MPP constitution only affects MPP members. It has no role in parliament. You understand? The moment you become a member of parliament, you are bound by the standing orders of the parliament. So that is where our procedures and activities are governed. You understand? So people should be talking about MPP constitution here. We are talking about a constitutional matter. We are talking about an enactment of parliament that binds every Ghanaian. The MPP constitution only binds NPP members. It doesn't bind NDC, it doesn't bind CPP, it doesn't bind PNC. It binds only MPP members. To that extent, when people are trying to compare the MPP constitution with an enactment of parliament or with the other constitution, then they are just being ignorant. Do you understand? Yes, well, the law doesn't work like that. The law is that says that everything must be consistent with the provisions of the constitution. If it's not consistent, it's null and void.
I see. So what you were doing today was simply to try and ensure that the law is respected. Now, let's go outside what happened in Parliament. The advert or the advertorial you saw, the announcement that there's a change in your leadership. We are told that there's a plan to meet with the president. I do not know at whose behest, but there's supposed to be a meeting with the president to discuss changes in leadership. Based on what you are saying, one second, let me land. Based on what you are saying to me tonight, you're suggesting that meeting would be absolutely unnecessary because the president has no power over you in Parliament.
Well, we don't know why the president intends to. I don't know what you are talking about because I've not heard any invitation for a Jubilee House. But I don't know why the president. But if the president intends to meet us on this matter, then the president will be acting ultra virus. Do you understand? Because the law is clear, and the president himself is a constitutional lawyer. So if the president wants to interfere with it, because you see, it's like saying the president interfere with the judiciary. I do understand where I'm coming from.
I get your point, but do you not risk being at war with asylum down? This is your approach?
Bear with me. Can the president call the chief of staff, like the chief justice, and say, I want you to make this judge an appeal court judge? Can the president do that?
Because the chief justice is not.
A simple question.
Yes, he cannot because the chief justice is not an MPP member. However, all of you are MPP members, and he's a leader.
No. Bear with me. We are MPP members. Fair enough. We are talking about our conduct in the House, which is regulated by the standing order. Do you understand? Our conduct is not regulated by the MPP Constitution. No. Once you become a member of Parliament, it's like when you become a president, Kufuor became a president, and the state security, it took over. His protection and everything.
Yeah.
Is he being protected by MPP members?
No. So he's above now. But my point is that, and I know I will not say forget the law, but put the law aside. Are you not risking a conflict with your mother party, which sponsored you to Parliament, if you proceed on this line?
What we are trying to say, Umaru, is that we should be on the side of breaking the law. Nobody's ready to break the law. We are legislators. We make laws. Our job is to ensure that those of us who are making the laws must first respect the laws for others to follow. And these are laws were not made by me, or made by just MPP members or NDC members. These laws were passed by the Parliament of Ghana. And that the Supreme Court is an institution. So I'm saying the Parliament is Parliament, legislature, that's the legislature, and the judiciary are all arms of government. Everything is all arms of government. But what you are trying to tell me now is that if the president is inviting us, is he going to talk about it? I don't know. We have not met the president.
But if he raises it, you would oppose it.
Sorry?
If he raises it, you would oppose it and read the law to him.
It's putting the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart, whatever way. The president, you are saying he's invited us. I don't know. But the rules are clear. The rules are clear. So who in their right mind will try to circumvent the rules? The rules are very clear that members must do it. And you have 137 plus 1 members in the House. It's their job to do so. The president, yes, as president of the country, as president, as a member of the New Patriotic Party, can recommend names, or can recommend, his proposal. But it's up to the parliamentary group to accept or, reject.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us on this matter.
I have a wonderful evening, Umaru.
You too have a wonderful evening. That's Eugene Boachentry. He's member of Parliament for Subin